Hello, welcome to the episode 6 of the Made in the South podcast with both your favorite hosts, Lisa and Ben Harmon, your favorite mother and son duo. Hey Mom, how you doing?
Doing good. I got a Friday off of work.
Yes, I have a half day tomorrow, so I'll be working some. I'm a bit tired today. Today's Thursday because Tuesday we had an interview that we recorded. It may come out Monday. I'm gonna get it ready and send it to him.
Depends on the editor.
Yeah. I'll have it done, but I want to make sure everything's good. Nothing I need to take out. All that stuff. So we're gonna get that done, and that should be up Monday, most likely. But it might be the following week before we get it out.
And it's going to be about 865 Life, and the person that owns that is Don Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I know him, I learned a lot, even about Tennessee history and funny the things you learn when you interview someone.
Yeah, I learned quite a bit. I was sitting across from you guys while y'all were talking, as like with the interview with Amy. But yeah, I mean, I asked a few questions and I learned a bunch from hearing them. Because I had seen like his business around town, but I never really put together in my head, oh, that's Don's. So I've known Don for 15 years probably. I know you've known him longer, but
and he had come into Chili's where he used to work.
Yeah, I used to be a bartender and server out of Chili's, and he came in, and I always recognized him, but not like how I knew him. I just knew, oh yeah, we went to the same church when I was younger, and that was about the extent of my knowledge.
And then he walked into the house. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he walked in the door. I was like, I know you.
That was funny.
But yeah, so some interviews I'll be the one doing the interview if I have more of a personal connection with them. But with Amy and with Don, you knew them a lot better than I did. But yeah, so that's something to always look forward to on our channel. I wanted to kind of start off our podcast tonight, thanking our listeners because we are still growing. I checked today. I don't remember the exact number, but we have more views on episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Every time I check, it's getting more and more traction, which is fantastic.
I also hope that as you're viewing our podcasts, that you'll comment back to us on our socials. Hey, could you interview whoever it would be? Maybe give us a joke. We're still trying to curate a list of breweries to go to in May. Mm-hmm. Maybe some ideas of the breweries you think we should visit. That kind of thing. Yeah,
for sure. You can post on our Instagram, our Facebook. You can email us. We might make a Twitter at some point, but with working full-time and managing Instagram, making the podcast, I'm like, I just need these two. I just need Facebook and Instagram.
Would you mind to say those again? Because I have known to mess them up.
Oh, the names of our social medias?
Yeah, how to get
So first off, you can find all of our links on madeinthesouthpodcast.com. You can find links to those there in case you can't remember which one's which. madeinthesouthpodcast.com. But our Facebook is called Made in the South Podcast. You just type that in and our page should pop right up for you. Instagram is at the @ Made in the South Pod. His podcast didn't fit when I made it. Made in the South Pod. I think you can search Made in the South Podcast, and that's the actual name of the Instagram page. But the handle is Made in the South Pod. And handle is just
on Instagram.
Yeah, it's like the account name. The handle is like the account name. I thought is that we could try our best. I know we have to go on tangents when we're talking to each other.
Yes.
It's our best job to categorize our topics and stay in that category. We have a bad habit of telling stories, which is great. I love telling stories. Try to keep it a bit more focused and finish a topic before we move on, then go back to it.
No promises, but we'll try.
Yeah, there's no promises. No one said anything to me, but I'm the one who goes back and re-listens to the podcast, make sure it sounds good. I'm like, oh, we went 15 minutes down one rabbit hole and back to where we started at, and I was like, let's try to keep it more.
When I was listening to it, I thought, this is really funny.
It is funny.
And I was the one talking with my son. So I'm going to say I enjoyed it.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I still want to tell stories and go on tangents, but try to remember where we started on that topic.
I'll do my best, as I say. So what's been going on with you this week?
This week
last weekend.
Yeah. So, and time's kind of all smushed together. Last weekend was the chalk walk, right?
Right.
I know we
posted a few pictures on our social, and it's hard to explain it on a podcast, so you really need to go look at them. But there was some beautiful artwork.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. We had a great time. It was you, myself, and one of your friends.
Right.
So we just, we were there for over 7 hours.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Wow. We got there about 11:20. I mean, we did a couple other things too while we were downtown, but we didn't get back home until close to 7 o'clock.
Wow. Yeah. We had a good time. I mean, of course, we ate because, we like to eat. So we went to Southern Grit and got some fried green tomatoes layered with pimento cheese, which I love.
Yes.
And I found out a friend of mine, her son is a sous chef there, and she's never been at Southern Grit.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
And she's never been.
Small world.
And Mama's never been.
Because I know that we probably should talk about Southern Grit some and talk about our experience there. So on Saturday when we were down there, we started our Chalk Walk extravaganza by eating lunch because your friend had already been down there for like an hour or so.
She was starving.
Yeah. She was texting us on the way down, calling us. We're like, we're on our way, I promise. We hadn't left the house yet, but we said we're on our way.
We're coming.
And it was a little hard to get a parking spot. I mean, we got one. Once we got in the garage, it was fine. But it was pretty packed traffic-wise around the garages. That's probably a good thing to note. If you're not from Knoxville, or if you are, you don't go downtown.
There's a lot of people that live here that don't go downtown.
Yeah, because I know when I was younger, I was like, I don't want to pay for parking. It's gonna be a drag. But the Locust Street Garage, there's a couple other ones too.
Market Street Garage.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. But yeah,
it is.
But they're all free on the weekends. There is a hotel garage that's not free. Make sure you don't go to that one. But if you want free parking, that is. And
they have a nice interactive map on the parking page on the Knox website. But I think they also have an app, so you just touch the garage you want to go to, it leads you right to it.
Yeah, so you go there, easy parking. It's accessible. It's not far from Market Square. But we went to Southern Grits, and oh man, that was good food. You had the fried green tomatoes. I know we posted photos of them, but we ate it so fast right away that we got half-eaten photos online. But it was
pictures, not half-eaten photos, but pictures of half-eaten food.
What did I have to drink? I had old fashioned. That's my go-to. I'm a big whiskey guy, whiskey and tequila, not together, but separate instances. And
I had a mimosa.
But I mean, I had hot chicken. It was like a chicken breast, chicken leg. I ordered 2 sides. Got 3 because your friend didn't want her side. She ate a little bit, but then she's like, "That's more food than I can eat." She's like, "Ben, do you want this?" And I was like, "Look at me. I want all the food." So I ate hers. I had, I think it was cheese grits she had hash browns. Hash brown casserole.
It was delicious.
I ordered fried okra, which is a weakness of mine. And what was my other side?
I know I ate some of it.
Macaroni. I had the macaroni because I always try to go with high protein. Most of my diet, macaroni, she has give it a protein, cheese, and all that fun stuff.
It kind of fueled us up for our walk because you walk all around our open market square, which is like an open marketplace, and then there were 300 artists, so many people, and I kept seeing pictures online that had of people that had gone the chalk walk. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. So there was more than you can even see.
I mean, it spans probably good back and forth, 400, 500 feet. I mean, both directions, so over 1,000 feet of space where people are on the ground making their artwork. Yeah, kids too, who some of the artists gave them little pieces of chalk to go on the side and draw on their own. So that was really cute.
Yeah, there's art everywhere, all types of art.
Yeah. But I thought we could pull some of the art on our phones and talk about it a little bit, just to refresh our. This was the last week.
A lot of the more professional artists or the schools had a picture of what they were drawing. So even though they might have only drawn half of it, you could see where they were going for the finished product.
Yeah.
There's a particular one I liked.
I like that one.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good picture of my son and I in front of Southern Grit. There's one of was it a pelican or a seagull? No, it was a seagull. It was beautiful. Beautiful. All the colors.
I don't know if you saw this one, but I really like the astronaut.
Oh, I like the astronaut.
All these photos you can find on our social media pages. We posted them on there, but there's a lot of vibrant blues and reds and oranges that really pop out. Do they have a color theme, or is it just whatever you wanted to make?
Pick.
Okay. I saw a lot of bright light blues.
Maybe that just shows up well on the concrete.
Maybe so.
I felt for
that one had light blue, the bee. Right. That one had light blue, the eagle. That was on the wall. I took that too. What was the wall called?
I call it Mural Alley. That may not be the name of it, but it's an alley right off Market Square that you can go down, and on both
Every
Like
inch.
both sides, every inch is full of murals.
Yeah. I posted a couple photos from that mural on the Instagram page. I got Dolly Parton there. They had a Mario one. I think it was Toad from Mario, but it was a Mario Universe one. Which that movie just came out, by the way. Apparently, it's doing really well. I really like this lion. It's like a green lion.
Yeah.
I found that one super interesting, but yeah,
there was a horse that was beautiful. A really beautiful art.
And back on the chalk walk, like they had Smokey Dog, the mascot for Tennessee Vols.
I just have to say one thing about the chalk walk. I really felt for the artists because the wind was blowing really hard, and they would like put a layer of chalk on, and whoosh, it'd be blown away.
I mean, there were literal.
And then they put it back real fast, and whoosh, it'd be blown away.
Due to the storms and the wind, there were literal dust storms going on.
I came home with stuff all in my hair.
Yeah. At one point, you were like, why does my shirt have all these little specks on it? I'm like, probably from the storm. I was wearing a black shirt. Yeah. Look at our photos. My mom was in a light blue shirt, which showed everything. I was in a black shirt.
It's like somebody had taken a daisy that had dried up, crumbled it, and then just dumped it in my hair.
Yes.
All the petals, all the seeds. Yeah.
I do remember by the end of the day, being in the sun and all that wind, like I was a little achy by the end of the day. I was like, oh my gosh, I am exhausted. I had a lot of fun, but it was tiring. And so, in between eating dinner and then also the chalk walk, we went in a few different stores. Do you remember them a lot better because some of you really wanted to go to? I can't remember the names that are everywhere we went.
One of the places I stopped with a lovely coffee shop just off Market Square. And then Nothing Too Fancy is a store that's next to the coffee shop. It has a lot of retro t-shirts in it and local t-shirts. It's a very unique store. And then right next to that's Union Avenue Books, which is really hard to find bookstores. So it's a nice local small bookstore.
I know that you and Dad like to read on Kindles, and I know Kindles are like early 2000s. Now it's iPads, but
the Kindle app on my iPad. Yeah.
But I fancy reading a hard copy book. I like to have a book in my hands, flip the pages. I can see. I read 70 pages. I can see the actual pages I went through.
Different. Yeah. Now, one of the other things that I had asked Ben, I said, I want to try that rooftop bar. Mm-hmm. We have a new.
It's called Round?
Radius.
Because
I kept wanting. You want to call it Round or something like that because there's 360 degrees.
Didn't the Sunsphere? Didn't that restaurant was called Round something, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think that's where I know it's Spawn, right? Didn't it rotate?
There is one that rotated in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta? That's right. That's where I get that from.
That's what you're thinking of. That used to be the tallest in Atlanta, but not anymore.
But Radius
I can't
Bar.
remember the name of it, but it's called Radius. Go up. They have indoor, outdoor seating. I think it was lovely. We could see the Tennessee River. You can see the Sunsphere off in the distance.
Beautiful spot. And I know if you stay at the hotel, you get complimentary drinks too.
And snacks. Mm-hmm. You know, I like snacks.
I know that I've heard actors who come in town who stay there go, oh, I'm going to miss the times I'm on set acting right now. I'm like, oh, bummer, you're acting.
Right. Aw, poor you. Yeah, but and the hotel itself I enjoy. You know, we sat down on some of the couches, rested a little bit.
Yeah.
Waited for CJ Tacos to open, which, just a warning to you, it doesn't open until 3, and the bar doesn't open.
Okay.
So
I didn't know the bar didn't either.
If you go there thinking, I want to go try that out, you can't get up there at 3 o'clock. And you don't have to be a guest at the hotel to go up and check it out.
We also met the owner of CJ Tacos as well. He was the owner, correct?
Yes. Well, he had a tattoo that said CJ Tacos on his arm. So I asked him about that, and he said, yes, I'm the owner.
So he probably won't sell the business anytime soon if he got a tattoo of it on his arm. But I know we got his business card, and we discussed maybe doing an interview with him at some point, which would be fun to... I always love talking to people who start their own food company. I mean, any business, but I love food, so that's always cool to talk to guys who start up their own business, see how'd you get into selling tacos, when did you first open your business, those type of things.
It's intriguing me, even when somebody has a job or business, or how did you get into that? How did that happen? What led you there?
But speaking of food, I'm pretty full because I made some pork chops tonight.
He hollered out and said, y'all want pork chops for dinner? I'm like, are you cooking? He said, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. We want pork chops.
Yeah, I picked up some chicken too. Picked up some tuna, some bratwurst, and bacon.
Yum.
So, a lot of proteins.
Yum.
But I know also while we're at the Radius Bar, I almost said roundabout. The Radius Bar, the Proportion Bar.
It was in the right proportion.
I know I said stay on topic. I'm going on tangents here. I was talking to my coworker today who listens to our podcast, and I was explaining the proportioned joke to her. I think last week I mentioned it on the podcast, and of course, to you and me, we get the story. Unless you really were there, you don't quite understand why we say proportion and why it's funny. And I was able to go more in depth about why it was funny with her, and she thought it was hilarious.
I get it now.
So I told her, because she was trying to think of, what word was she thinking of? It doesn't matter. But I told her, because you don't know, just say proportions.
Just say proportion. It kind of fits.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to say about being downtown is there's a reason. Oh, I know what it was. That the Spring Gardens are coming up next weekend.
Tell me about those. I'm not very familiar with
Spring Gardens. You'll hear this on Saturday. So the following Saturday, the 15th and 16th. We check those. Is that next weekend?
Today is the 6th.
Yeah, it's the 15th and 16th.
So that'll be 2 weeks, right?
No, we'll air the podcast Saturday and it'll be the next weekend.
Sure, yeah. Today's technically Thursday for us, but yeah.
So from when you hear this, it'll be a week away. You don't have to register. You just show up. They do like donations. Everything's supporting different nonprofits. But I haven't been to it yet, but the 4th and Gill, which is downtown, they're opening up some of their private gardens. There's an area of town called North Hills, which is in North Knoxville. They're opening up some of their gardens. And my favorite garden that I just found out last year, I wrote it down so I can get it right, is the GATOP. And the man that developed this garden, it's really a forest. I was talking about it last week with trees and flowers and statues and stonework. And it stands for God's answer to our prayer.
Okay.
I didn't know that. That's just what he called it. And if you want to actually see the garden, look up Dr. Solomon, the Accidental Stonemason on YouTube.
That's good to know.
It's like a 6-minute talking to him, finding out his passion for the garden. But that's all next weekend.
I do want to say that I'm proud of you.
Yes.
You said the title correctly, so that's very impressive.
What was the title?
It's on YouTube, where to go, what his address was.
Oh, I did.
That was very, you can't say our title, our websites, but you can say other people's.
That's good. I've actually looked at it. And another thing I did, that I love being downtown. I signed up to take a walking tour of downtown.
Your first one was yesterday? Last night.
How's
that? I know we talked briefly about it, but
right.
I mean, we get home at 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
I was going to say my legs were like jelly when I got home, and I just wanted to chill. Mm-hmm. But now I want to talk about it. It's led by Jack Neely.
You have photos?
I do. I have many, many.
Do you have them with you right now?
I do. Well, I don't know if they went over to my iPad yet.
Is that on your phone?
They're on my phone. Yeah.
You know where it is? I'll go grab it really fast.
Yeah. If you we're gonna pause so you can grab that.
Well, you can talk to listeners and I'll go grab it really fast.
We're not gonna pause.
Yeah. You keep talking to our lovely listeners, and I will run away and find your phone.
I will. I'm gonna tell you some of the things I enjoyed the most. Jack Neely leads the tours. He's passionate about Knoxville history. He has started the Knoxville History Project, and you can find out like interviews and articles and pictures, and there's even an interactive map to find where the art wraps that his group has done. It's around like they call them the traffic boxes. So when you see that beautiful art, those are from his project. And then on the side, it'll tell you like why they put that piece of art there, or was there a building that used to be there, or kind of thing. But on the KnoxvilleHistoryProject.org, there's an interactive map. There's a list of different walking tours and driving tours all over Knoxville. So that's very in depth. Let me look at my phone.
Because I wanted to see the photos because I have not seen them yet. Then it might stem some conversations about them or questions that I might have. Yeah.
All right.
Or might joggle some stories.
This is how we started. We started down at one of the buildings that used to be a department store, is now owned by UT. So we started there. And from that angle, you can see the YMCA. And I'd never quite looked at it from the side.
I mean, I used to go to that YMCA when I lived downtown.
It was all this beautiful stonework and bricks. It's very, very old. It was a well-known place for people to stay because anybody could stay there. But It has a beauty to it that I don't think I had noticed before.
That's the Lutheran church? Or what church is that?
I don't know.
I know that girl
No, it's
like a long time ago I talked to, not that one.
You're talking about. I
Actually, I've been in this church. This is where I used to live, right?
Yeah.
Right next door to it. This is right off Henley.
No, we're totally downtown.
Oh, okay.
On Henley. I know what you're.
I'm not where I'm thinking. There's
a lot of beautiful stone churches, and I can't remember this one. There was a Presbyterian church, Catholic church, beautiful churches. And if you go to the website I was telling you about, it tells about each church and tells you the name of each church.
Okay.
And I was just taking the pictures. They were gorgeous.
We will also post these photos on our social media too.
I'll look the names up and see what I'll mean more to you when we do
What's that building?
This one was amazing. The one my son's looking at right now. This is actually the post office.
Oh, really?
It's all made. I don't think I'd ever noticed it before. And if I'm going to zoom in close.
Is it still in use?
It has a small post office in it, but it is historically significant because it's made out of Tennessee marble.
Oh, wow.
The entire building is Tennessee marble. And the unique part of that is it's pink.
Well, it's very beautiful. Like the outside's textured.
It's sculpted.
Yeah.
Different stonemasons came in and...
I mean, it's individual bricks of marble.
and curves. And on the other side, there's different...
Same one, I think. Yeah.
Let's see. On the other, I ran around the other side so I could see the...
Did you actually run?
I did not.
I know we talked about this over the weekend. When's the last time you went running? You're like,
no.
When I was 22.
Maybe. And see the columns there? It's all like curved and the artistry of the building is amazing. This
style of architecture, I know we talked about, I think, episode 1 or 2. Like, I love older architecture, so it's all capturing my interest right now.
And when the building, Jack was saying, when the building gets wet, the pink's more prominent. And all this marble was mined near the Candora Marble Factory area.
This is the federal building, right? That's where I interned back in college.
Oh, is that where? Oh.
Yeah, so sophomore year in college, I interned for one of our senators. Not him directly, but his Knoxville office. And I did that for half a year. And
learned a lot.
I didn't work in this exact building, but it's like over here on the side. But I'd walk through. That's where Cape Brew used to be, right? The little coffee place. I know I used to get coffee in a little arch like that.
I don't know. I don't think it's there now because I think it's on the main.
Yeah, I know they moved, but I know there was a coffee place down below. That's where I used to go. Got a bistro now. And you know what that statue is?
I like that because they didn't want this, and this area had, this was kind of, I mean, so many stories. Jack just knows. It was 2 hours, just jam-packed. This was interesting. In front of the courthouse, this is from the Spanish American War or something like that.
There is a Spanish American War.
I think so. But that's the statue that's in front of the courthouse because there were Confederates and Union soldiers everywhere, and so they didn't want to upset anybody, so they didn't put either statue in front of the courthouse. I know. We're like, oh, he said that's not even a zoom in.
So it's a statue from a different era.
So a statue from a different era, but it's the only statue in front.
Picture of the bistro.
Let me see. Yes. Oh, the bistro is right next to the what theaters?
Tennessee Theater.
Tennessee Bijou. The Bijou. And the Bijou is one of the original theaters. And there used to be a beautiful hotel that attached to it.
I've heard about it, but never.
Bijou's beautiful. And right next to it's the bistro. And I took a picture of it so I could remember to go back and eat there. Because it looked very interesting.
These are just photos of Jack himself. So I won't talk about those because that's just him.
Let me see. Let's see what we're looking at. Oh, yeah. I want to have pictures of Jack talking. This is before we start. This is one of the first churches and the very first cemeteries ever in Knoxville.
All right.
And it's at it was a Presbyterian church, and he joked that there were saloons and stores, and somebody came through and said, we had a party. He said, oh, you don't have a church. This is a big city, and somebody put the money up for that church and that cemetery.
Oh, wow.
And our original governor buried there.
What's that place?
Oh, that's a really interesting building.
It's like all these stories you're remembering.
I know. I wish I could remember the name. Put me on the spot.
But for example, if you want to hear stories like this, you could take his class.
Yeah, take his class, and even just go on his website. It has events and how to get involved. You could even schedule. I was checking with Jack. He only does this through UT once a year, but you can schedule private. Like if your group wants to do the tour of Knoxville or tour of UT, or just to learn more history, you can book a private
I'm
tour.
sure you already said it, but I did not listen.
Okay.
What's his website again?
It is, that's why I asked, KnoxvilleHistoryProject.org.
KnoxvilleHistoryProject.org. Okay.
And this building is the only building left of this gentleman, but I don't remember his name, so I don't want to say, to be honest. And there's a little plaque up high, but now it's turned into lofts.
I think I've hit the end because now I'm sitting screen lock photos.
Oh, keep going. That's funny. Okay, and there's my driver's license. We don't need to talk about that. This was really cool. It was an Irish Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take the picture. It was kind of interesting. It faced towards the railroad. It didn't face towards the city because back then Knoxville had a section that was Irish American section.
Mm.
So they turned the church faced towards the part of town.
That's cool.
I know. The person I toured with has been in it. She says it's an absolutely gorgeous church. This was facing our rail yard. We only have freight trains coming through now, but up until 1970, I think what Jack said, we had passenger trains, so we're not connected to the Amtrak.
Mm-hmm.
So
we had two different directions,
we
right?
Did. Yeah.
It's kind of how it is now. We have the interstate, and we have east, west, and north, south crossing through our cities.
Now, if you do go downtown in our beautiful city, if you go down the 100 block of Gay Street, it's close to what we call the viaduct, which is the bridge that was built over the over the railroad cars. And they raised the sidewalk there up. Like there's a sidewalk down below at that point. They raised it up like I've been their basement, the first floor, but it looks like you can look over one of the rails and look down and see where the original sidewalk was.
Oh, really?
Right out on Gay Street.
That's pretty crazy. I know Gay Street has a lot of history there. I've been there for different parades and events over the years.
And then there's you can see at the Emporium, you can look down, there's a little park down there.
Oh.
And then you look down and you saw there's actually somebody's porch. You look over you're standing on the main road. You look over this railing and go, oh, there's somebody's apartment. And they have a balcony underneath the road.
It's not in use anymore, right?
Really? They've opened it up and remodeled it. It's Sturkey Lofts are right there. And down below, our apartment.
Well, that's interesting.
And some of the buildings along there, their basement's down underground.
Gotcha. I would love to go down and see those apartments. That'd be cool.
We were all like, whoa, look at that. None of us knew. That was cool. I like that. And then something else I didn't know, the Andrew Johnson building, which is where I'm in the school system, and that's where our office used to be located. Well, I didn't know it used to be a hotel. And Jack said the person that bought it. Oh, something going on here. Okay. Oh, check.
Just adjusting.
It used to be a hotel, and the person that bought it is going to try to turn it back into a hotel. Because it's a historic
landmark,
beautiful. It's not on the registry, but it is a very historic hotel.
Gotcha. All right.
I thought that'd be cool. I just learned a lot. The person I went with was like, ooh, period. And I didn't know about this book because now I'm going to check it out. Let me see. I wrote it down so I could remember. It was called Suttree. It's Suttree. And Cormac McCarthy wrote it, and it was about it's all set in Knoxville, and it's semi-autobiographical about his growing up in Knoxville. So many of the sites of Knoxville that were back in the 70s are in the book.
Well, I know it's not Knoxville based. Speaking of books,
it's kind of cool. I was like, oh, cool.
Did you ever read the book The Road?
Well, he wrote that book.
Oh, yeah. So yes. So same author. All right, I didn't realize.
Author.
I can't remember who the author was. That's set, I think, in Sevierville. A lot of the scenes. So you can see there's a Ferris wheel that's up that way, and it's in the book too. It doesn't call it out by name, but you can watch their the journey they go through, and it's that's through different landmarks where he grew up in. So
the same thing in Knoxville, and he had places I never heard of. I've got to read the book now, of course, but so there's a place called the Huddle where everybody was welcome, and it was a bar, and it closed down in 1980, and it's still there, big open space with a mahogany bar in there, and
it's not in use.
Not in use. I know.
Could be a good business opportunity.
Well, Jack said they might do something with the Knoxville History Project and have a gala there. It's just such a beautiful space. Well, such a unique space.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I had no idea you could. I knew that Gay Street, because it dipped down, like they put the what do you call that thing over the railroad track? Just said it. Viaduct. Whew, I was on bridge. I drawn with my hand on your bridge over the viaduct. What had happened is the road dipped way down, and that came right back up on to the area where Gay Street is. So horses and beginning motor cars it's almost like a roller coaster. I think they called it something hill, something like Horror Hill, and that's why they raised that part of the road up.
Foundation and all that stuff.
All the way up, yes. I was like, who knew? So there's something else we learned.
This was all Wednesday, correct?
Yeah, and A.G. is a famous author, and he wrote a lot of his books are about Knoxville.
Okay.
It was very fun. I highly encourage you, whatever town you live in, look, see. There's probably somebody there that knows more about your town than you do. Try to take a walking tour or maybe get on the website. The friend I went with said, when do you take time to just walk around? Usually when we're downtown, we're going to a spot.
Going to an event, a restaurant, a show.
Right. We just walked for 2 hours.
Well, I know up in Abington, where we have some relatives, we walked around a little bit, but we've basically gone to go see a theater show in their
Barter Theater.
Yeah, in the Barter Theater. So it's the same thing. We've been to a very rich historical city and didn't even think to
take time.
Smell
the roses, right? I think anything else. That's what I did this week.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I did over last weekend was I watched the NCAA tournaments. It's the last couple games, but I went to my best friend's house and we hung out and cracked a few beers, told stories. We're dumb, ate some food, watched some basketball.
I like when food's small. Didn't you have some catfish? You said you had some fried catfish. Like they did a deep fry.
So Sunday was, I believe it was their grandmother's birthday. So they were all coming over to their house on Sunday. I was going to go by because I've met a bunch of his family over the years. Sunday hit and I was
worn out.
I was worn out. I was doing like 3 or 4 things. I was like, if I came over, I would be squeezing it in. I couldn't really enjoy his family. But I got to sample their dinner because I won't say names, just, in case they want me. If they tell me they can, then what I can, then I will.
Just call him Sam.
Yeah, but my best friend's roommate, who they're also cousins, he likes to cook a lot. So he was trying a new catfish recipe. And I got to sample it. I got to try, I say sample, I ate a whole catfish, but it was quite amazing. I never boiled it in oil. I've only ever like broiled it or seared it in a pan where he actually had
it's like around this area we call it a fish fry. It's the kind where you dump your fish in, cook it fast and hot, cornmeal breading, I assume.
Yeah, he had his own way of breading it. I think it was cornmeal based, but
probably cornmeal flour.
I had a little tequila in me, so I don't quite remember what he used, but it was really good. So I gave him my thumbs up for approval because I also cooked, so I was like, that's really good. That's what I did Saturday. Sunday, I rested. Did we go to the gym Sunday, or did we think about it?
We thought about it a lot, but we didn't go.
One thing I've done, which I think I started this week, might have been last week, where I actually brought them to work. I brought some of my weights to my office. So that way, when I'm taking a little break, or instead of just walking around, I'll do some curls, I'll do some shoulder presses, whatever, and get a little workout, which I think paid off. I think I started last week because your friend commented on me looking bulkier.
She hadn't seen him in a while, and when Ben was walking up, she goes, I didn't even recognize him.
I had a hat on, I had my full beard. You've seen our photos. You saw me. I'm not, I want to be in better shape, but I'm getting there, and I would say having a personal trainer helps a lot.
Nice to hear. Yeah, it keeps you motivated.
Yeah.
Because obviously when we were ourselves, I don't want to go.
Once a week, that's enough.
Let's just stay home.
My personal goal is to go 4 times a week, either a hard workout on my own or going to the gym itself. Having my weights at work helps. I can sit there while I'm just doing things.
Now,
and
speaking of that, they have line dancing at a place close by. They have here you can just walk.
Who does?
I don't want to say the place. There's a town.
Oh.
They have line dancing classes.
You're saying Knoxville.
Knoxville.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought it meant somewhere downtown that we were at. I was like, I remember line dancing downtown.
She was just saying how important it was to stay active.
Yeah, for sure.
Find something.
I mean, I know there's some other like dance class studios downtown. I don't remember where they are, but I've seen them advertised. So you can take. I mean, I'm a big fan of learning music. I learned music when I was young, which I don't practice now, but it's helped me with. I mean, just having that ability for your brain to think rhythms and articulate what you're trying to say really helps out. So stay physical, stay mentally physical. It's important to maintain.
Well, it's something we've done all our lives. So I think for my life, it helps to continue it. It's been a lifestyle.
Yeah, I know one thing I do with my dad is we go on walks, especially now that he's working less and it's not raining so much. Although tomorrow is supposed to rain.
Oh no.
Yeah. But we go on walks and we'll go for like 3-4 miles.
Yeah, because we were only like an hour out of the Smoky Mountains, so.
I don't go enough to the mountains. I need to go more.
When I get there, I'm like, this is wonderful, but.
Well, it's hard too if you like. I love you, Mom. But like for your knees and stuff like that, it can be a little stressful.
I know. It'd be like, wait, you're going too fast. It's true.
Yeah,
true.
A problem with my mom and I is if we go on walks together. Which we talked about last week downtown. We were just walking together.
Yes.
And I was going very slow, casual pace for me. She was like 20 feet behind me, and she's like, I can't catch up. I was like, all right, I'll slow down.
I'd have to run, which I don't do, as you know, catch up.
I slowed down to about a third of my pace.
And then you could walk again.
Yeah. But it was funny because I wasn't even thinking I was walking fast. And I was like, where's Lisa?
It's all true. He says he speaks the truth.
Did you do anything Monday or Tuesday?
Let me think. No, not really. Not just your bed. Nothing interesting.
Well, I know Tuesday we had our interviews that took up.
Oh, right. That took up our
Yeah, so basically we got home, did our interview, which was great. But we were here for a couple hours and Vitality. Talked a little beforehand, hung out. Caught up some.
Yep.
The interview went so smooth. I mean, he asked us afterwards, hey, how was that? Did I do a good job? It was his first interview, I believe. I think he said it was his first time.
First interview
on a podcast, I think. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, it was.
He had a lot of great stories to tell, and he's really descriptive about his business, his passion for his business.
Yeah.
It was just really fun.
Yeah, so hopefully you'll hear that Monday because I think it's a really interesting podcast and interview, but also business as a whole. So I ended up getting 3 of his shirts because I was like, I'd already eyeballed them the day before on his website. Right. I was going to ask him if he had some in his car to.
Yeah, since he does pop-up shops, it was great. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
I mean, yesterday, Dad and I hung outside with our neighbors with their dog.
Oh, good.
Because I watched their fish last week.
And they have those large. Yeah. What kind of fish are they? Carp.
So he has one large one. I think a couple maybe died. He has like 6 fish now, but they're small.
They're those orange.
Yeah, he's gonna rip us apart not knowing the fish.
I don't know the fish. I don't think
koi?
He's gonna be listening.
Not koi, are they?
Koi.
Is it koi?
I think it is koi. Ooh, chew.
Yeah.
Saved.
But so he paid me generously, and I was like, you don't have. I do it for you for free. I love you guys, but he paid me and gave me some tequila and wine, so I'm very grateful. We've over the years helped both sides out for 24 years now, 25 years, something like that.
Easily.
I used to work like their Halloween parties, and I've cooked with them a couple times.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's what I did Wednesday. I was outside and hung out, and then you got home, and I was basically going to bed because I was like, I'm tired.
I know.
And today's Thursday.
I guess I one thing. Yeah. I know we're about to wrap up, but I just thought about this last time I did.
Keep talking.
I went and saw the Shazam 2, I guess you'd call it. Mm-hmm. And I have a movie pass, so it doesn't cost me any extra money to go. But I was a little disappointed. I would give it from 1 to 10, I give it like a 6.
Yeah, I haven't read any spoilers on it, but there's a couple of reviewers that I've listened to sometimes for movies. If there's like a movie that I'm questionable already, like, hey, what do they think? Because I usually agree with their general idea of the movie. And they're all saying about 6. It was kind of.
I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. I mean, go see it, but
it was above average, but basic.
Basic, because the first one had a really unique concept, and you really got attached to the kids that were in the movie. And on this one, I won't spoil it for you, but the kids were not as involved in the movie. It's more they turned into adults, superhero adults, and it was more about the adults. And you're like, oh, I don't know them. So I guess that's what got me.
Well, and I know too, just on a financial side, the first movie I think had a budget of like $20 million. They made like I think $400 total,
wow.
which is great. I mean, that's not counting marketing, but still, for a relatively low budget film, they made good money. But to make good money now for your big budget movies, you need to have like 600, 700 in profits.
Wow.
And then maybe this one probably cost them $150, $200 million, and they probably only made $240 back. So the marketing from what I've heard, I've reported says they're actually losing money on the movie as a whole, which sucks. Which sucks for them because I love Zachary Levi.
I love Zachary Levi.
And,
from Chuck.
Yeah, and I love superhero films.
I love superhero films.
Lately, I've been a little burnt out because just the stories haven't been that great to me. The characters have been
I want to care. Like the first one, I really cared about the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, it's more about the kids than the actual superhero. I mean, superhero was like the backdrop of like the big action scenes and that duality, but it really is about two brothers or two best friends.
They're foster.
Yeah.
They're in a foster care
situation. But they had some problems.
They become brothers by being in the family, and you just felt great for them, and then they were heroes.
Because in the first one, they had a falling out, and it's like, oh, let me try to fix this friendship and this brotherhood. Which I haven't seen the new one, so I don't know what the story is, but I usually, if you have a story about brothers, it's hard to beat that. So it'd be hard for the second one to be better than the original.
And pulling everybody together. So it just was. I just would have had a little more character development for me. But I still love Zachary Levi. I love. Not that he's gonna be listening, but I love.
You never know. He's a big in nerd culture, so he's. I know we watched Chuck several times over the years, and
I love Chuck.
It's a great show. If you haven't seen the show Chuck, I highly recommend it. It's a great action-y comedy, like it's not really romantic, but there is romance in the show. But it's much more of a comedy. I'd say it's more geared towards adults. There's kids probably could watch it, but there is some adult humor in it. But it's but it was.
If you haven't, where it was streaming?
I'm gonna guess NBC. But it might be CBS. I think it's NBC.
It was streaming on.
I think it meant originally.
Sorry, not the original network. I don't remember. You can look it up though.
There's so many now.
Whenever I'm wanting to find a show, I say, "Where can I watch Chuck? Where can I watch Lie to Me?" Which is another one I started watching again. That kind.
I know today at work. I would say at work. I promise I do my job when I'm at work, but I take breaks sometimes, and you can't work straight through without going crazy. I was just curious because I saw someone post something about national holidays or something. Like, I wonder what other national holidays, or they're not official holidays, but like your National Pancake Day, those type of things. I thought that yesterday.
What did you find out?
Yesterday was National Caramel Day.
Oh,
you love caramel things, caramel cake.
I ate caramel today.
But I was going to look up some other ones. I have a whole list here. See if there's anything weird that strikes me or anything that's like I find strange. National Dandelion Day was yesterday.
I don't like a dandelion.
I don't either. National Deep Dish Pizza. Okay,
I can go for that.
National Flash Drive Day.
Flash drive.
I'm sure some people don't even know what a flash drive is anymore. National Nebraska Day. Is that even a state? National Walking Day. I took a walk yesterday, so that's good. I didn't know it was going on, but I took a walk.
I did. I took a 2-hour walk.
So I've met a surprising amount of beekeepers over the last couple months. And it was National Be Active, Be Healthy, Be Happy Week. It's spelled with bees, B-E-E.
Oh, I see it now.
So
I know too, my husband works with somebody that keeps bees, and we got some of his honey. And then one of the teachers I used to work with has beehives. So I've gotten really into only getting my honey from local beekeepers.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
Delicious.
Fresh honey, basically right out of the hive.
Delicious.
Today is Fresh Tomato Day.
Oh, I'll go for that. Who decides these things?
I have no idea. You'll like this one. Also, I have a coworker who also loves these. She has an unnatural addiction to them. National Acai Bowl Day.
A what?
Well, you pronounce it acai, but acai bowl.
Oh, acai. I always say acai. ACAI.
I did look up the actual pronunciation. It is acai, but
acai.
Depending on where you live.
Because of getting a acai bowl, I like the way they took the strawberries and did this little chopper thing and made nice, even slices.
That is pretty cool.
So I got one for myself from the Zon.
Some slices for your salads, and
a little chop.
It's for me eating sliced up strawberries. Like, I need 1,000 of this, but so good.
It's good for salad.
Today's also National Burrito Day.
Today is?
Mm-hmm. But let me move to Saturday because that's what our listeners will be hearing. So.
Does that happen all year?
I mean, there's like hundreds of things about this. Just today and tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at right now. But Saturday. Let's see, anything interesting? National Empanada Day.
Oh, empanadas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love an empanada.
Mm-hmm.
We have a food truck here, Enjoy Latin Food. Like the most amazing empanadas.
National Zoo Lovers Day.
Oh, our zoo pass. No.
Oh, no.
I have to renew those.
Mm-hmm. There's not a whole lot on Saturday, but yeah, I just Google searched national days, whatever, and list. I mean, there's basically everything you can imagine has a day sometime during the year. You get National Folding Chair Day. I'm sure it exists.
Something to celebrate.
Yeah, I always say folding chair because we're sitting in folding chairs.
Yes.
So now they have little cushions on them, so they're not uncomfortable.
True.
Yeah, that's I thought it was interesting what I searched today, so I thought I'd share that today. But upcoming stuff. I mean, I know we talked about doing different brewery tours. I think we talked about it last week as well. But we started a list. If you want to, we can go through a couple of our possible options. We won't do all of them because that'll be maybe at some point we will. It's a lot of beer to drink.
These are the ones we were looking at. Crafty Bastard.
Yeah, Crafty Bastard Brewery. You got, I see Woodruff Brewing Company.
Oh, I didn't have that on my list.
I took photos of my search. Balter Beer Works, Schultz Bra Brewing Company, Geezer's Brewery, Zoll Beer Company. Zoll was where you talking to that one couple who
said that was their favorite. So we met at the Cheese Fest.
You got Four Tap Room, Next Level Brewing. You have a bunch. I got a few more here too, but we'll probably take like a month and do 4. And if we really like doing that, might spend another month later on, do another 4. But send us recommendations if you have a brewery that's local. For now, just local. We might do other ones down the road, but.
And I heard Blackberry Farm has a great brewery in Wallen, but that's only like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But
if you have any recommendations, tag them in an Instagram post on us, and so we can see it. Private messages on Facebook or send to our email.
And you can, what do you call it when you tag something? Hashtag it Made in the South.
Oh yeah. Our page's hashtag is just hashtag Made in the South, all one word. Which, if you've seen any of my posts, I use that on all the posts. So.
Got it. I still haven't quite figured that out, but I'm going to try it.
Oh, I thought it was something else.
Yes,
I'm looking at my photos right now on my phone.
Yes.
I remembered a story.
Okay. Story time.
So
we always say at our house. Sorry, we always say story time. That just means tell me about something.
So you remember how April 1st was over the weekend,
right?
Which is sad because I love pranks, and I couldn't prank any of my coworkers,
right?
So I chose Monday morning because my coworker doesn't work Mondays, and she's a big cat person.
Okay.
And she has photos of our cats throughout her office. I don't know if I ever showed you these, but I end up changing the photos out with pictures of dogs.
Oh no!
So I have one there that's right behind her desk.
Oh no!
And
you actually put those photos on top of her phone?
Yeah. So this is her photo frames, and I just opened the back. Of course, all my other coworkers knew I was doing this. Didn't stop me. They said she's going to kill me, but they didn't stop me. So they're at fault too.
You definitely need to cook for them.
And she has a cat mouse pad, and so I put a big photo of a cute little puppy on top of her mouse pad.
Oh, big old sad eyes.
And I didn't take a photo of it, but she's a desk drawer right here.
Right.
And there's a picture of a dog just going like right as you open the drawer. So.
What did she say when she saw this?
Well, so this funny thing is she was having a bad morning already. She comes in and looks. I walk in and I said, "So how you doing today?" She was like, "You hear something, guys? You hear some random sound in the office?" I was like, "Oh, I love your photos." I helped her take them out later in the day, but yeah,
that's fun.
I love trolling people and pranking them, and especially harmless pranks.
So. Harmless pranks. Those are good.
Yeah, I mean, upcoming stuff. I guess, what are we doing this weekend? Or for our listeners today.
Yes, today.
I know that my best friend and I want to go to some baseball games. He asked me tonight, but I couldn't go tonight, so we're gonna look up the schedule and try to find
I'd like to
upcoming game.
I would like to go to Anarchista or maybe Dollywood, but I'm just afraid of the crowd.
I'm sure it's
with Easter weekend.
I'm sure it's killer right now. I'm sure it's crazy.
So, although I'd like to do that, I don't think I should.
Anarchista is a beautiful place. I only saw it in the dark.
By the time we got up there and got in, it was dark.
Yeah, if you want to see photos, I'll take some new photos next time I go. But on my personal Instagram page, I put a video back in November when we went.
Right.
And there's a video of like at the nighttime
and I have some daytime pictures maybe we'll put up now just since we talked about it. And then you can take more.
Yeah, we can do that and take some videos of us up there.
Right now it's their Blooms and Tunes Festival. And I just saw a post that said they had brought in like truckloads of flowers to put in. And then they've got live music.
Yeah. For those of you not in this area, Anarchista's up in Gatlinburg, right? Gatlinburg, it's a...
mountaintop adventure park.
Adventure park, dinner, shops, walking. Scenery. I know they did a light show back in fall. I'm not sure if it's still the same thing now.
I didn't do it, but I've heard it was beautiful.
Yeah. Aren't they building a coaster or some sort of...
They're building a brand new coaster, mountain coaster. Mm-hmm. And they said they just got the individual coasters in, so it's on.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, it's definitely growing. I can see it becoming like a pseudo Dollywood-esque place outside of Dollywood. Kind of in that scope.
They have delicious food. Mm-hmm. They have fire pits. Yeah. They have...
Because when I was there, the fire pits weren't going. Yeah, they were. They're going. Yeah. They're crowded. We went on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right at that time.
And we're like, we'll go on holiday. That way they won't be out here. No, it was...
Jam.
It was worth it, but it was definitely crowded.
Well, now that I have my season pass renewed, I can cut that line.
I told, at the time I was still serving.
I think so. I don't know.
I wasn't serving, but I ran into somebody who I was serving with. And he asked me, like, he was going on a date with someone, wanted a recommendation. And I said, for a date, it's a great place to go. It's subtle. It's kind of,
you can go on the ski lift to get up there.
Yeah, you can go on the ski lift, you get great dinner. I know that their house wine was like $5. Like, I was not expecting that. Very reasonable.
They have a beer truck.
They have some rotating seasonal dishes. I had roast duck, but that's not always up there, but that's what I had when I was.
They have like a more barbecue type place up front.
You can get beer if you want, if you can drink. I mean, it's a very relaxing place. I would recommend.
And if you have, well, go ahead.
Yeah, it's right across the street from the aquarium. So spend like your latter half of the day in Anarchista.
Right.
In your first half, like doing a little shopping or going to the aquarium. Because I don't think Anarchista is really an all day thing.
No, it's like.
But you can spend like half a day at dinner and evening.
And now it's stays light longer. You could go up there like about 2 and then wrap up about 9. Yeah. So you'd have plenty of time.
Are there combo tickets for the aquarium and Anarchista?
No, we should suggest it. And they're owned by different companies.
So you all should add both companies and be like, hey, do a combo deal.
A good idea. There's so much to do up there.
This weekend, I don't have a whole lot planned this weekend. It's been a crazy last couple weeks. Maybe we'll go try somewhere to eat this weekend.
That's good. I love to go out to eat.
Saturday. I know tomorrow, Friday, I'll be editing the interview. Actually, I'll be editing this podcast and hopefully the interview too, so I do it all in one big swoop. But it takes time to.
I wouldn't mind to try a hike because not as many people. Once you get up and into the mountains, it's not crowded.
It's supposed to rain for tomorrow and Saturday, I think, so it may not be pretty.
Not good hiking weather.
My goal is to wash my car, like thoroughly wash my car. Not exciting, but something I want to do. But because it's raining, I just gave a quick hose off today. Because I got out of the office, just pollen all over my car. Sunday, I don't think I have any plans Sunday. But really the biggest thing upcoming is the Dogwood Arts Festival is still going on. So as we said last week, you can go to dogwoodarts.com and you can see all their...
Just look under... They'll have, like at the top, they'll have a lot of choices, and just look under garden and trail.
Mm-hmm. Yep, but they have a pop-down for all coming events.
Everything, yeah.
So you can do that.
And then you have their Dogwood Trails, and then it lists the spring garden.
I think it's this month. It might be May. But there's Knoxville Beer Fest going on downtown at the World's Fair Park, which we mentioned last week too, briefly.
I forgot about.
But that's really probably the next big event coming up that I want to go to at least. Oh, I lied. Another big event.
Wait a minute. I'm just looking at the dogwoodart.com. It says at the top, trails and gardens.
Trails and gardens.
And that way you can find all these things we were talking about.
So a big event that you, myself, and Dad are all going to is the Taco and Tequila
Woohoo Festival.
And which you know a lot more about than I do because you've done it twice now?
Yes. I volunteer with Campbell Station Wine and Spirits. And what you do is you'll buy a ticket. Just go to Tacos and Tequila in Knoxville. And you buy a ticket, and then you come in, and you get so many tokens.
And you buy at the door, too, right?
I don't know.
I think you can, but it costs a little more at the door.
Usually places charge a little bit more. But they'll give you a certain amount of tokens, and that's for to try the different tequilas that are there in the different drink. Give them a token, you get a drink, and then you can purchase.
Yeah, because we're volunteering, so ours is free, so I don't quite recall.
I know.
But if you wanted to come see us, we will be down there. It's 28th?
I don't know.
I think it's the 28th.
I'm looking it up as we chat here. They have them throughout. I mean, they have Atlanta, they have everywhere. This is the one.
Yeah, it's the 28th. So it's the 8th annual Southern Tequila and Taco Festival. Friday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you want to see us, we'll be there at 6 p.m. volunteering at
Campbell Station
Wine and Spirits.
At their booth.
So come say hey to us if you want to. Come get some tequila, some tacos. If you do come down to drink, make sure you drink responsibly. That's always very important. You don't want to get in trouble or hurt yourself in the process.
Oh, here, look at this. I didn't know this. It's $50 for your general admission. It's 5 tokens for tequila, cocktails, or beer, and then you get 3 food tickets for tacos.
Okay, so basically you get free. I mean, for $50 you get dinner and 5 drinks. That's a pretty good deal.
Right. I think so. It's a lot of fun, and they have live music. Last year they had live music, which was nice.
Do you have a say who's coming down?
Huh?
Is that who's coming down?
I don't know if that was last year or not, so I don't want to say.
Gotcha.
They do have a video there, but go look at southerntequilafest.com.
And does this festival support just the businesses, or is they also raising money?
It supports remote area medical, and where they can take. This is their biggest fundraiser, so they can take medical care into areas that don't have.
That's fantastic.
And more the remote, rural area.
Yeah. So we'll definitely talk this event up more as the weeks go by. But that's probably the next biggest thing we're doing is on the 28th. We'll be actually working for an hour or so, a couple hours.
It says there's over 100 different tequilas to try. Ooh.
I am not surprised.
Fun.
So if you want to come down and say hey to us, meet us in person.
I mean, I know last year's music was really good. It doesn't really say who's doing the music this year.
I'm sure it's on their Twitter or something. But
yeah.
But yeah, go come down, meet us, say hey to us. Tell us how much you love the podcast. We'd love to meet you. That's where we'll be on the 28th. While I have my phone on, I'm going to look up the beer festival because I'm just curious about it. Well, there's a lot of beer events going on, so that's not a very good Google search. I will find it. I'm getting posts all the time. Because I've looked up breweries. Hey, you got Knoxville Beer Brewery Festival going on the World's Fair Park. So
it just knows you.
Mm-hmm. I'm being tracked.
You're being tracked.
Oh, I got an email from my agent.
All this says right here. Oh, nice to get emails from your agent while you're sitting here. Listen to great live music and whatever. I'm not sure, but it was good last year. A lot of covers. Songs you recognize.
Ooh, it involves food. Sorry.
Ah.
I will be submitting for this tonight.
Oh, so. Good. All right. So we get things from our agents, and you have to submit right away because the roles get booked sometime within hours of the submission.
Yeah, I've had some jobs where I submitted, and within 30 minutes, I was like, they want you. So
the sooner the better. Think we can wrap up?
Yeah, I think it is our infamous joke time.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll let you go first.
All right. This is one of my favorite jokes. And I'm going to try not to laugh before I say the punchline. Here you go. You ready? Mm-hmm. And you've already heard it, but you can still laugh.
I'll give you a good fake laugh.
Okay, good. How much do they charge a pirate to get his ears pierced?
How much, Mom?
A buccaneer.
Actually, is a good one. I've heard it 1,000 times, but that is funny.
One of my favorites.
I think I've heard you or me tell that people 20 times. Almost nobody ever understands. They understand the joke, but they don't know the answer. But that's a good one.
Like I said, I got to bring that one back.
Yep. Unlike last week, I remember my joke this time. I don't remember the joke from last week, but I have a new one for today.
Okay.
So up Antarctic, it's all super cold, right? Do you know why polar bears have such a thick coat?
Why polar bears have thick coat? No, I don't know.
For protection. Fur protection.
Oh, fur protection. Oh.
I thought it was pretty good. I love puns, so I'm like,
I got it now.
I actually found one other polar bear joke to make up for last week.
All right, I covered.
Mm-hmm. Don't remember how it goes, but I'll pull it up here and look at it.
The beauty of the computer. And
so I think you'll find this one more funny.
Here we go.
More due to some stories between us over a long time ago that aren't funny for listeners, but funny for us. But
that's what matters.
What do you call a polar bear with no teeth?
I don't know.
A gummy bear.
A gummy bear. I was so close. It was coming.
Yes, I'm a gummy bear. Remember that video?
Yes. That was good.
If any of you all are my age or younger, tag me in a post on Instagram with a little clip from that video that I referenced, and I'll bring it up on our next podcast.
Because he's always bringing things up. You don't know that? Let me bring it up.
Don't you know this reference? This 2-word reference?
I don't.
But, Mom, I think it's going to do it for episode 6 of Made in the South podcast. We are 6 episodes in, 2 interviews, 2 more on the way, or down the pipeline right now.
Interviews in the works.
This has been a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I'm having a great time just talking to you, hanging out, meeting new people, talking to small businesses, getting to know them. So,
same.
Yeah, but guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Made in the South. And Mom, what do you always tell the kind folks out there?
Everyone, please be kind.
Bye, guys.